So this dude walks up and says, "Are you legit? I see these other videos made about you, and is it a scam? Is it real?" And I'm like, "Bro, I've never lost money in real estate, ever."
Just like with haters, you mentioned it, like people saying, is Grant a scam, this or that? I've even had people tell me, you need to watch yourself. Grant's not in your core values and different things. I'm kind of going on this path that you've already blazed.
As you get bigger, it's coming, bro. It's going to come. Trust me.
Right.
Then you're going to have some investor that's not satisfied or some customer, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Like, it's part of the game. I don't help anybody when they don't pay me.
Right.
I only help people that pay me. I woke up today to $1 million. They don't know how to make money the way we're making money online. We got to be able to do it without the SEC throwing us in jail.
I know. We know asset prices and all that stuff is going to be changing. So what do you do as an entrepreneur?
Well, one, you got to, two, you should be in, three, you got to.
I've got none other than Grant Cardone. What up, man?
But good to be here.
Bro,
you know,
in person.
Being the whole vibe, being the RP vibe, you know, like.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We just
awesome.
finished.
Great studio.
Thank you. We just finished filming your TV show, man.
Yeah.
Tell people about that. What do you got going on?
So Real Estate King, this is the fourth city. We're doing 10 cities this year. Basically, we pick a city to go to. We tell people I'm coming. It's cities that we're interested in investing in. So we're in Vegas for this one, and we'll have a dozen people pitch us deals, get down to like 7 or 8. One of these people is going to get funded.
Wow.
I'll fund the whole deal for them.
It's kind of like Shark Tank a little bit.
Yeah, Shark Tank for real estate.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what'd you think of Vegas while you've been out here?
You know, Vegas, man, what a city, man. It's always evolving. You know, it's becoming this new thing. I remember coming here when all dinners were free. I was telling my daughter, I used to come here. Dinners were free. Hotel rooms were free.
Parking was free.
Dude, everything was free.
Yeah.
Like, and when the first time I ever came here, I think I was 28 years old. My mom brought me here. She said she was my best friend. And she's like, whatever they offer you here, don't take it. She's like, I'm telling you, just don't take it. And so, but I used to come here, man, everything was free. Now I'm paying $2,000 a night for Encore room.
Yeah.
Dinners are like thousands of dollars.
Yep.
And you still get to go downstairs and lose money.
Do you gamble?
A little bit.
What do you play?
I play blackjack.
Yeah. Well, that's the best. Well, that and craps.
Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't figured the game out yet, but
I was golfing with some gamblers, and I golfed with the guy who they based that movie 21 off of.
okay.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah. What were y'all playing for?
Just golf for fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just for fun. So, dude, I was in Miami a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
You had this event. It was for influencers, creators, and it was like invite only. You spent, how much did you spend on that event? Would you guess?
I don't know.
You don't even know. It was probably, somebody had told me that, like, yeah, Grant spent over $1 million on this event.
Could have that.
And it was completely free. There was no agenda. There was no
We didn't
sales
sell
pitch.
anything to anybody.
Nope. You were just like, hey, I want to give you guys value. If you guys need anything, I'm down.
Yeah.
And I got Jared's number, Ryan's number. I've texted them since then. They've been super helpful. And then, you know, they call me and they're like, hey, Grant's going to be in Vegas. He wants to collab with you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, this guy's doing everything he said he wanted to do. And I just wanted to say, so everybody knows this, so like that was to me the best event I've been to.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Yeah. It was great.
It was great to be with you guys. And, you know, it was, you know, at some point, like, you know, yeah, I've been so competitive for so many years. Like, just because I was coming out of a place of scarcity, really, like, just like, I didn't know what, there was no mentors, no guidebook, there was no resource manual. I was just grinding out, bro, like always scared, not knowing, okay, when am I going to flip the switch? Will I ever make it? You know, like I'm always starting from zero, like every single day, no matter how much I have or what I've done, I'm like, okay, I'm at zero. And at some point you look up and you're like, if you do the right things, you're like, okay, I got 12,000 apartments. It's hard to mess that up. And my other businesses are just crushing it, just beyond anything I ever imagined. Our funnels are just destroying every day. I woke up today to $1 million. Oh my God. I never ever even thought this would happen.
Right.
So then one day I'm like, okay, what do I do now? And I'm like, you know what? I want to go back and reach the guys that are doing stuff like I'm doing and see if I can be of assistance, guys that maybe are in earlier stages.
Right.
You know, and see if I can collaborate more than just compete.
Right. No, you've helped me out a ton, man. The biggest takeaway I had from your event was seeing what you were doing with just all the different companies. Because, I've got quite a few companies too. And I know on one side, you hear these guys who are like, hey, focus on one business only, and that's it.
Yeah, the niches, or the riches are in the niches or something.
Yeah, and I mean, I did that with house flipping for a long time, and then I expanded into all these other ventures. And then I see what you're doing with Cardone Ventures. And then when you explained it with Brandon Dawson about, hey, if we have all of these under the same company, it just increases the multiple, the value. There's just so much more we can do. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Like, what is your thoughts on that?
Well, look, it's I can only do so many things. And bringing you guys all together, these very influential people that have made money in a lot of different genres, a lot of different verticals, a lot of different ways, some from home, whatever. What you guys, like, there was $2 billion worth of revenue in that room in Miami, annual revenue. And I don't know that counted mine. So like, I'm like, God dang, there's a lot. There's some big money in this room. And nobody knows these people. Wall Street will not acknowledge you. Like, the hedge funds, they don't know who we are. They don't know how to make money the way we're making money online. It's not even real to them.
Right.
So much less profitable. Like, if you look at the S&P 500 or all the stocks, all the public companies, I think there's 218 zombie companies on Wall Street that lose hundreds of millions of dollars. Not a little bit of money. They lose hundreds, and they still have billion-dollar valuations.
Crazy.
Based on what was in that room in Miami, the valuation in that room is probably more like $28 billion or $30 billion company if we put it all together. So that's the concept behind Cardone Ventures. And when people start seeing me do 10X Health, adding it to the real estate's real. So it becomes, it's so solid in the cash flows and everybody trusts it. And then you start wrapping other companies around it. Big chiropractor, like if we could put together 2,000 or 3,000 chiropractors, 2,000 or 3,000 dentists, 2,000 or 3,000 HVAC.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're talking about a $40 or $50 billion valuation.
It's crazy.
Life changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I heard that, it all clicked for me. I was like, I get it. That's what all the big guys do. Like, they just acquire all these companies, and it just is a win-win for everyone.
Yeah. And that's what I'm very inspired now by these other guys that have done bigger things. I can't get in their rooms. They don't know me. If they do know me, they don't think much of me probably because I'm doing stuff kind of on the edges, kind of disrupting things and breaking things. And like what we did at Cardone Capital, raising money direct to retail investors, no brokers, no middlemen, that's never really been done before. You're doing it,
Yeah. What's crazy is I've followed your blueprint, like, for a lot of different things, right? I've been raising from social media and everything else. And I've talked to different guys who are family office guys, Wall Street guys and everything. And they're like, how are you raising money? I'm like, I just make a video. I raise money. It's on social. They're like, what are you talking about?
You're talking Martian or something.
Yeah. And then I'm like, have you ever heard of Grant Cardone? Like, this guy, they're like, I've never heard of him. I'm like, how do you guys not heard of him? But to your point, these guys are just.
I was playing at Encore 2 nights ago. This dude walks up. Oh my God. I'm playing blackjack. I think I'm playing, I don't know, $200 or $300 hand. And I was starting to get a little run go, So this dude walks up. I think he's from Austin. Oh my God, he's 45 years old, white dude. Really not our audience, by the way.
Right.
Probably 45 to 50 years old, dentist, and says, oh my God, man, I didn't even know if you were real. I said, okay, what's up? He's like, I watch you on YouTube and Instagram, and I didn't know whether you were legit or not. Like, are you legit? And I said, well, how liquid are you? And he's like, and he whispers in my ear, he's like, new girlfriend. I'll tell you later. It's a true story, right? So I said, no, bro, I'm legit. Like, and then all of a sudden, the second he walked up, bro, I start double down, bang, make my hand. Another double down, make my hand.
You're like, stay here.
I'm like, bro, look, feel the vibe, bro. The cards don't lie. Money's how. I said, I never lose in real estate. Now, I said, I can lose here, but I never lose in real estate. And he's like, I didn't know. I watch all this stuff, and then I see these other videos made about you, and is it a scam? Is it real? And I'm like, bro, I've never lost money in real estate, ever. I've lost money at these tables, never, because we just pick these assets that are unbelievable.
Yeah.
So he does this to me later. He turns his back on the girlfriend and says, $5 million. Liquid.
Wow.
So the point of that story is, your family fund guy.
Yeah.
They never thought about going direct. J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Blackstone, BlackRock. They don't go direct to retail. You're not talking to a machine.
Right.
I mean, you're not talking to people. You're talking to a machine. Fundrise. There's no person to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're just getting basically a menu of places to eat
Mm-hmm.
or things to invest in. You're not talking to the chef of the kitchen. Like what you're doing and what I'm doing is like, I'm buying this deal. If you don't put the money in, I'm buying it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a lot of trust there.
Yeah.
And the investment community has completely ignored the concept of direct communication via video.
Yeah, they're kind of just going to the middleman. Hey,
They're doing what they've been doing. These guys are basically addicted to easy money.
they don't have to work for it. Just build a relationship with a family
I got to go
office.
hunting. I got to go hunting with them. I need to buy them some tickets to a ball game, take them to dinner, maybe go fishing with them.
That's it.
You know, and it's the same people doing the same thing, and that's why so much wealth, so much real estate has been accumulated with only a handful of people.
Right.
I really want to spread that out.
No, I love it. I love it. Yeah, you and I were talking about this before the podcast. You know, just like with haters, you mentioned it. Like people saying, "Is Grant a scam?" This or that. I've even had people tell me, because after the event, I made a bunch of videos. I was like, "Hey, here's what I learned from Grant. It was awesome."
Yeah.
You know, all these things.
How much hate did you get just by sharing that?
Quite a few people are like, "Well, have you seen this most recent video of this guy or that guy?"
Yeah.
And I even had people who are like, "Dude, you know, you need to watch yourself. Grant's not like he's not like in your core values and different things." And I'm like, guys, you know, I don't know Grant that well. I know him enough that we've had a lot of conversations. I've seen what he does behind the scenes. I've seen how much he gave at that event. I've myself have been impacted even when we didn't know each other, just watching what he does. Like, I highly doubt he's scamming people. I can see the real asset. I can see the transparency. And, you know, you're still just going to have people saying whatever no matter what.
Of course, man. I mean, it's, you know, it's a world where you can say whatever you want to whoever you want about whatever you want. Like, YouTube is a clickbait phenomenon. Like, it's like the only way anybody can get subscribers there is to do a video.
Right.
With a big title. You know, and then if I'm not in the video, this is what I tell my people or our investors. Was I in the video? Did they interview me? Why wouldn't they interview me? It's not like I won't take the interview. I'll talk to anybody about anything.
Right.
So there's videos out there. One of the investors says, "Do you really buy the property and then sell it, buy it, close it, and then 30 days later sell it to us?" I'm like, "Bro, do you understand how expensive that would be?"
Yeah.
Like there would be a tax implication.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know how I feel about the IRS. There would be a tax implication. That means I'd have to get 2 loans on a deal in 60 days. These are massive. We did on December of last year, 2021, we did $1.1 billion worth of deals, closed $550 million worth of debt on a Friday afternoon. How do I do that? Claimed all our cost seg.
Yep.
With 4 days left in the year. How do I do that twice in 5 days?
Right.
It's impossible.
Right.
So this is just clickbait, people. So I know it's going to come. As I get bigger, as you get bigger, it's coming, bro. It's going to come. Trust me.
Right.
Then you're going to have some investor that's not satisfied or some customer, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Like, it's part of the game.
Yeah. It's just part of what happens when you grow in business.
You know, and while they're doing that bullshit, BlackRock lost $1.7 trillion.
Just swept under the rug.
And it doesn't even make the pages.
Right.
1.7 trillion of your grandmother, mother, father, uncle, aunt out of some mutual fund, and nobody even talks about it because they're worried about you or me being scammers. When the truth is, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citibank, you name it, bro. The insurance companies, the life insurance companies that collect premiums from you every month and never pay. How about all those hurricane, you know, when a hurricane comes through Florida, if it's a named storm, you don't get insured. It goes away.
Really?
Yeah, exactly. It just disappears suddenly as long as it's a named storm. So if your parents have to go because they have dementia and they got to go to $8,000 a month care center, that's not covered by insurance.
Right.
So there are plenty of scams on earth. Cardone Capital is not one of them.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, I've got a couple of my friends who are investors, and so
yeah,
they ain't got no problems. I mean,
We pay every month. I mean, we send a check. We sent out $4.2 million this month. I think almost $46 million this year.
Wealth Builders, if you are trying to grow your real estate investing business, then you need to join us at Wealthy Investor. If you have no idea what Wealthy Investor is, it is our coaching program and community. We have helped thousands of students worldwide grow their business. Now, it doesn't matter if you're just getting started and you're trying to get that first deal. We can help you do that. If you're trying to scale your business and go from a few deals a year to a few deals a month, or even 7 figures a year, we can help you do that too. In fact, last year alone, we had over 30 students do over $1 million in revenue. And I'd love for you to be the next one. So it's pretty simple. If you're trying to grow your business and wholesale more homes or flip more homes or buy more rental properties, then you need to go to wealthyinvestor.com and book a free call with our team. It's super simple. We'll go on a strategy call with you and figure out how we can help you grow according to your needs. So all you got to do is go to wealthyinvestor.com, book the free call with the team, and we'll see you there. So tell me about business then. Let's talk about this, okay? We know asset prices and, you know, all that stuff is going to be changing. So what do you do as an entrepreneur? You specifically and those listening.
Yeah, so, you know, depending on where you are right now in your career, it would be, if you're a waiter, you're going to have to be the best waiter in the world. Like, you can't be good. You can't be average. You got to be great. If you own a restaurant, you're not going to be able to serve marginal food.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, if you're not going to be exceptional, you're never going to get overpaid. It's just not going to happen. And you're probably going to be, in the beginning, you're probably going to be underpaid even though you're exceptional.
Right.
It's like there's a lag.
You got to earn it.
Yeah. Well, I get good at something, right? And then like the world hasn't, you're
Caught
not
up to
so
how
good
you
yet.
are.
Huh?
The world just hasn't caught up to your greatness yet.
Exactly. And you almost have to hit celebrity status. You know, it almost has to, and they're like, I want to pay you just because I did business with you. So my goal was, I just watched a lot of people and I'm like, okay, I gotta get great at something, because all the jobs that I had opportunities to do, there was no real money in it.
Right.
And so I would just tell people, one, you got to get great. Two, you should be in something that can scale.
Right.
And that is contemporary enough to last.
Right.
And so like our event business is not a scalable business. I can't do, you know, 300,000 or 3 million people at an event unless I could, you know,
gonna go,
which is what
the Coliseum.
Well, no, you see, I'm doing this TV stuff.
Okay.
So TV, I could scale to 3 million, 30 million if I could hit it.
Right.
You can't do that with a Coliseum. The live events are not really scalable. Single family home's not scalable, but 200 units is.
Right.
So I would tell people, get great, get scalable. 3, you got to surround yourself with other people that are doing way bigger things than you are. Like, the network is everything. And so what I do is I continue to kind of recycle my network of people. I reached out to you guys.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting to look at some of these guys on, you know, Wall Street and in England and saying, hey, can we get a meeting? But they won't have a meeting with me, Ryan, until I got enough assets to, they're like, oh, you got $5 billion, huh? Yeah, we can do a meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in the south of France on a yacht? Yeah, man, let's meet up. Like, all that stuff means something to these people. Oh, you're in Monaco? Yeah, man, come see me. All that stuff means something.
You got to play kind of the old money game.
So I'm mixing it up in this world.
Right.
You know, I never forget where I came from, but I also have to be willing to leave this world and go venture into these other environments.
One thing you said at your event was that you got to be willing to sacrifice something to get to the next level. And to me, it sounds like, you know, you're having to sacrifice, you know, how you got to this point to start branching into kind of the ways you've been trying to avoid to this point.
Yeah, I've always had to give something up.
Right.
So when I was, when I was coming off of drugs, when I was 25 years old, I had to give up my friends, people, places, things, everything that I was associated with that drug life, I had to give up. And then when I became a public speaker, and I didn't want to be a public speaker, it's not scalable business. So many of the guys that I watched, I'm like, that's not a business. The guy's 80 years old and he's still traveling around the world and pick up $25,000, you know, earned income. So I had to give up my speaking career to become a real businessman. Right. I had to give up, you know, buying a single family home for myself, my wife, and the kids to live in. When we moved to Miami, I rented for 8 years.
Wow.
I took all the money and invested in real estate. I had to give something up.
Mm.
So this is what I'm always telling people. You got to give something up. You can't do everything and be good at anything.
Right.
So you can't play every position on the field.
Right.
What position did you play?
Second base.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were telling me.
Didn't have an arm?
Dude,
No
I
arm?
could
No
throw.
arm?
No, I could throw pretty good, but it was so inaccurate, dude.
Oh, okay.
Bro, when I was at shortstop,
Yeah.
it'd be everywhere.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That you wanted to play baseball, you
Yeah,
said.
dude. That was my dream, bro. Like I would give up everything I've done
Yeah.
to play baseball.
Dude, I tell people that all the time. I'm like, this social media thing, education,
Yeah.
way easier than playing sports.
Oh my God. You can do this forever too.
Yeah, that's true.
So I got a lot of guys, Jose Altuve.
Yeah,
he
with the
hits me.
Astros.
He's like, hey, you got to teach me the real estate game.
Yeah.
And so, because those guys know their career's going to end.
I talk to them every day, man. Like baseball players, Raiders guys out here, they're all like, yo, I don't know when my career's over, but you know
it's over.
it ends very quickly at any moment.
Yeah.
But this is great that we can do this forever.
Forever.
It's funny.
I got my kid out here, man. I'm teaching her the real estate game by bringing her around. She's learning about cap rates, down payments, equity,
What do you
how
think?
to pick a deal.
So this is something I've been thinking about. My kids are 3 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm kind of going on this path that you've already blazed. And I'm like, man, am I going to have to like homeschool my kids now to bring them with me and all this stuff? What do you think?
Yeah, man. Shit.
That's the only way.
Bro, it's the only way for me.
Yeah. You don't trust the school system anyway.
I don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I'm holding on to my chips while I talk to you. Yeah. So,
I think I saw one on the ground. I'm going to pick it up after this,
Yeah. So I'll pat her down before I leave. So I don't even trust my kid. So, yeah, look, I went to school. I spent 17 years there. I gave him a shot.
Yeah.
School
School's
system.
It's a lot different than when we were in school.
It's gotten worse.
Yeah.
It ain't gotten better.
Right.
And it was bad when I was there. So I learned how to use drugs in school. I learned how to drink in school. I learned how to steal in school. I learned how to cheat in school. I learned how to, I learned everything, every bad damn thing I ever learned. I learned in a schoolhouse.
Right.
I learned how to fight there.
Yep.
So, my sister said, how, the kids aren't going to be socialized. I'm like, do you met my kids?
Sabrina was telling me her life story.
Dude, they seem socialized to me.
Yeah.
They seem pretty confident.
Her first story was like, yes, I was on this yacht in France yesterday. And I'm like, there we go.
But we did that. The reason I did it.
Yeah.
The reason we started the homeschool thing was because, one, I had a bad experience in school. Not everybody does, but I did. And I look back at my education. I look at the things I'm doing today, and I don't associate anything that I learned then with what I'm doing today.
Right.
So the ultimate reason that we did it was because I wanted to be with them.
Right.
And I didn't know this. Parents don't know anything.
Yeah.
You have a kid and then you start figuring stuff out.
Right.
But I couldn't take them out of school without breaking the law.
Mm.
And I'm like, what do you mean? Like if I want to pull them out for a month or 2 weeks or 3 days.
Right.
No, you can't do that. I'm like, shit, let's just pull them out for good.
I know. That's what I was thinking. The travel, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like being on anyone else's rules or schedule. Like that makes no sense.
Yeah. So, well, when are we going to take a trip? What if I want to go someplace? Well,
Right.
you got to get, approval from the school system and then they'll be held back. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
Right.
So they're homeschooled. I mean, they can count.
They can read and write.
She can read. This one's read. I don't know how many books.
She's reading a book right now.
Bro, I'll bet you she's read 20 of those since we've been in France.
Wow.
In 3 weeks.
That's awesome.
She eats books.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know if we're doing it right. Maybe we screwed the kids up, but if we screw them up, at least I know I did it.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
some stranger.
Right.
What happened to your kids? I don't know. Some stranger fucked them up. At least I'll be like, I fucked them up, Now, the big thing that people ask me is like, oh, they're going to be spoiled or your kid's going to be spoiled. Look, they fly private. One of them's never been on a commercial flight before. I remember Scarlett asked me one day, am I ever going to be able to fly commercial? And I'm like, I hope not. And we finally did. And she's like, oh my God, I never want to do this again, right?
Oh,
so
man.
some people are going to be like, oh, they're going to get spoiled. But the truth is my kids give back to us. We do not give them money. We don't buy stuff for them. We have them on contracts. They work for us.
They got to earn
They have
whatever
a
they want.
whole contract, I don't know, 6-page contract, what they have to do for us each year. They get a salary for that.
I'm gonna have to get that from you.
Yeah, not an allowance.
Yeah.
And then depending on how they do during the year, they could get a bonus, you know? And we take that money. I don't ever give them the money.
Right.
It'd be like me giving her a loaded gun, right?
Mhm.
What do you want to do with this?
Yeah.
I don't give a kid 30 grand.
Right.
What I do is I take the 30 grand, I move it into Cardone Capital,
Mm.
and then they live off the distributions.
Ah.
So they're getting, what do you get, 667 right now or something? 667. Yeah. And so that's what she can spend. So she'll call me up, hey, can I buy these earrings? You got $420 left this month.
Yeah.
That's the only way they get money. Or she could take a loan out. Like we were in France and they found these things they liked. And she's like, hey, this is going to cost $900. I'm like, well, you don't have the money, but I'll take a loan. So they're learning the game.
8% interest.
Well,
What's the interest rate?
It's 0, man. Kisses. Just give me extra kisses, right? So, they're learning the game like that because I know when you just give people money, they don't learn anything, man.
No. And I've been thinking a lot about that with
Yeah.
my kids as they get older. I'm like, man, going through hard times is what made me who I am. How do you teach a kid who's going to grow up in a super nice house and everything around them? They don't even, like you said, they don't even know what flying regular is.
Yeah.
Man, it's hard navigating that.
Yeah, it is, dude. And then you got all these people around you that are telling you what's the right way to do, what should you do. And I just know they're turning out great.
Yeah.
If they can, they're already better than I was when I was 13.
Yep.
And so I don't know. Look, I've spent more time with my Sabrina than my dad ever was able to spend with me. More time with Scarlett than either of my parents ever spent with me. They couldn't.
Right.
Bro, they were they were in fear all the time.
Mm.
Like they just did not have, they didn't think big enough about how to create and scale a business.
Right.
They were awesome people. But my dad died when he was 52. I was only 10. And he was at work every day. He didn't abandon me. He was at work. He was trying to take care of me. And in that trying to take care of me, there is a level of abandonment.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, the mission statement of the Wealthy Way is to not go broke trying to get rich.
I love that.
Yeah. And that's just my mission. Like, I don't work weekends. I'm home. I leave the office at 5.
But Instagram does.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you look like you're working on weekends.
Hey, the team's posting. They're making it happen.
It looks like you're working all the time, bro. I've been watching your game.
There we go.
I'm like, look at him making those moves.
We're always developing something.
Yeah.
So, well, my mind's working 24/7.
Of course.
Right?
It should be.
But office time, I want to leave here, go hang with my family, my
Yeah.
kids, and all that stuff. And, I think a lot of entrepreneurs, as you know, they get caught up in pursuing money and riches and all these things, and they forget about the things that are important and the things they're trying to build a better life for.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I did that.
Yeah.
I didn't get married till I was 47.
Wow.
Didn't have kids till I was 51.
Crazy.
I was grinding, bro.
Yeah.
I went 1 year, I went 260 days without going home.
Wow.
So you do
Just
weekends
on the road?
every day.
It's crazy.
It's gone. I was hustling money.
Yeah.
But back then there was none of this. There was
Mhm.
no other people to learn from. You
Right.
could read a book. You read some book from some dead guy. But you couldn't in real time go online and have somebody inspire you
Right.
to do anything. Now there's probably too much of that, but back then it was like you're by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing I was going to bring up was every time I've seen you, your kids, your wife are always with you, traveling the world at your events, just hanging out. It's like you've merged that gap of being able to work, being able to have family and hang out and all that.
We only do businesses that support the family and our lifestyle. So I don't do any business with it. Hey, you want to do this deal? Nah, it doesn't fit for me.
Right.
Oh, you make $1 billion doing this. Doesn't fit.
I don't care.
So everything fits, everything. If I move my thumb, my pinky moves, all our businesses, I can pitch one thing and it is going to hit 2 or 3 other things.
Yeah.
The speakers that we have on our stages, everything. When I had you guys come down to Miami, all that is moving something else. All of it fits together. If it doesn't fit, we get rid of it.
Right.
That way I can spend time with her and them and do the things I want to do and be around the people I want to be around.
Yeah.
Well,
One thing
I didn't get rich to be unhappy.
but a lot of people do.
They get rich and then they're like, shit, I'm unhappy. And then they say money doesn't make you happy. Money had nothing to do with this.
Right. Right. Entrepreneurs, if you want to grow your business, there is no better investment than your own personal brand. The smartest thing I ever did was start creating content and investing into my brand. Ever since then, we've been able to triple our business. I've been able to raise more money than ever to continue buying more real estate. And it's all because I create content just like this. Now, a lot of people have asked me, Ryan, how am I supposed to do it? I don't know where to start. I don't know who's going to edit it. I don't know even what kind of setup or camera or anything to do. Well, here's the thing. We can help you with all of that at Pineda Media. We have a podcast checklist that you can actually get for free at pinedamedia.com that's going to go over everything you need on starting a podcast. But to make matters even better, we'll actually edit your podcast for you. We'll repurpose it into short form clips like you see on my Instagram and my TikTok so that people will start seeing those clips and watching your podcast and in turn being customers or investors in your business. So if you want the one-stop solution where you can get everything done for you, plus get the education you need to grow your personal brand, then you need to go to pinedamedia.com and book a free call with our team. You can also go get that free podcast checklist and that training program absolutely free by just going there. So go check it out. One thing you mentioned earlier was that you were thankful you make your money on the internet, right?
Yeah.
And I've been saying that for a long time because, and you also mentioned too, that it takes a while for the world to catch up to how talented you are and your greatness and all these things. And for me, I started making content 2.5 years ago, right? I was unknown before then, but I was still good. Like I was flipping houses, grinding, doing my thing, but people didn't know who I was until I started making content being known, right? And now I'm just shoving it down people's throat, content. And now I make the majority of my money from the internet, right? Education, things that help people, you know, scalable products, like you said, right? I can't flip that many houses. I can't go.
And you've done a lot of houses.
And I've made a lot of money flipping houses, but this internet thing is infinitely more scalable. Touch on that, man. Like, how did you figure that out?
I don't know.
Because you were a car sales guy, you know, like you said.
I was hustling $200 commissions, man.
Yeah. Like, when did that? Because for me, immediately it switched. I was like, this is a better way.
Yeah. And then, well, I didn't have the internet. Like, so then I was out pitching car dealers. I was selling cars, and then I started pitching car dealers. I'm like, let me go sell these car dealers. Worst audience on planet Earth.
Right.
And hard people, very difficult, right? But they had money. So I'd go door to door, knock on their doors. Hey, I got an idea. I can show you guys how to double their sales. I started learning my pitch.
Right.
And this has really built the armor around who Grant Cardone would become, like this persistent, tenacious, grinding. But that's not scalable. Mm-hmm. I remember Gary Vaynerchuk telling me he outworks me. I'm like, bro, we just met. How would you know how much I work or don't work? Like, I didn't even know you till Jared told me about some guy from some other part of the world that was making money selling wine or something. I didn't even know you. How do you know if I work harder than you? What the fuck's it matter, by the way? I don't know how that matters. Like, what's the contest here?
Yeah.
You know, and I said, you want to compare jets? You know, that's a contest, right? Yeah. So you want to compare who makes the most money. That's a contest. We can measure. I don't know who works harder. My dad died working.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
He worked hard.
Oh, yeah. He worked hard and died. Heart blew up in his chest. So I don't want to do that deal. I think it's important that people know you for your work ethic. I know you for your work ethic. Now, I didn't know you didn't do weekends.
Yeah.
Because you had the internet do this thing for you.
Right.
So when I discovered the internet, I was 50. She had just been born, 51 years old. Mm. And a guy said, hey, man, you could really do some good stuff with Facebook. I said, why do you think that? He's like, well, you're clearly a teacher. You're an educator. You like teaching people. And I said, yeah, what's Facebook? What's this thing, Facebook? I ain't got time for Facebook, bro. Shit, I'm too busy worrying.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, man, Facebook is this thing. It's kind of like YouTube. And YouTube was pretty new.
Right.
This is only 12, 13 years ago. And I'm like, bro, I ain't got the time for no Facebook. I was so negative about it. And he walked out of my house. I still remember where I was. And I said, man, you sound like a really negative person. I was saying to myself. And every time I've been that guy, you know, no, I don't have time for that. there's always been something on the other side of that closed door, that closed mind.
Before you finish, can I say
Yeah.
one thing you said at the event that stuck out to me too was the thing that you're like hating on or dismissing is the thing you know you should be doing.
Always. For me,
Yeah.
the things that I hate on,
Yeah.
you know, like I hate banks. I hate the Blackstones, the Wells Fargo, the Bank of America. And the only reason I'm saying that, you guys hear me hating on them, is because I'm going to do them. I'm going to become the thing that I hate.
Yeah.
Like I've done this my whole life. I know people that hate on me just want to be me.
Right.
They don't know it.
Right.
It's a flip version of admiration.
Yeah.
So when you start hearing me talk about the Black Rocks and the Blackstones, man, I'm prepping myself.
Yeah.
So I don't know where I was at in that.
You finally decided Facebook.
Oh
The guy
yeah.
was
So
telling you, yeah.
the guy walks out of my office, and literally I have a Facebook account. 3 minutes later, okay, and then we ended up with 6 million people on Facebook. Before Facebook basically became a garbage dump, and they started throttling everybody, and you can't really get to them. But man, I've made a lot of money with Facebook until that happened. Now, then Instagram came out, and I started playing on Instagram. I'm good on time if you are.
Yeah.
I'm no
good.
rush.
Yeah.
So then Instagram came out. I could not figure out Instagram.
Yeah.
For at least probably 4 years.
Wow.
Couldn't figure it out. Now today, man, that thing is just like we're getting 800,000 views, 600,000 views a day.
Yeah.
Sometimes reached 11 million people last week. But it took me a long time to figure it out because it's a different gig.
Right.
I still haven't figured out LinkedIn. YouTube has made me, I don't even know, hundreds of millions of dollars.
What's your favorite platform?
All of them.
Me too.
I mean, that's my.
If you had to pick what's made you the most money, which one?
YouTube. YouTube's a beast, bro.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Yeah, like I literally can walk around places today. I never thought that it would be like this, man. I grew up in a little town. Nobody knew me, and you get this YouTube look. You probably get.
Yeah.
You're starting
people,
to get it.
People recognize me, but they may not know my name.
Exactly.
Or
They don't. They're like,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They get this look. The look it's a weird look because if you don't recognize someone, there is no look at all.
Right.
This one has something extra. It's just a little.
I know what you're talking about.
It's weird, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, he got the YouTube look. He's gonna come over and say hi, which I love. I love people saying hi.
Right.
I can't imagine making it to the rock status. You can't go any place.
You can't go anywhere.
You can't go to the grocery store. You know.
Right.
But you look, the first time I saw social media, I was like, well, how often can I post? And they're like, there's no regulation on posting. I'm like, that's some good shit.
That's free.
Well, what can I say? What can I say? Anything you want. I said, shit, bruh.
Well, you used to be able to do that.
Yeah. This was before COVID.
Yeah.
But I mean, pretty much, you could still pretty much say, you could say you're the best.
Right.
You can't say, hey, I'm going to make you a millionaire.
Yeah.
Or you can't do a lot of the weed stuff, right? But you could say you're the best.
Yeah.
And I like that. Because I don't mind telling people I'm the damn best. The first time I heard Muhammad Ali say, I am the greatest, I was like, God damn, why ain't I saying that? He's not even white. And he's saying it. And this back in the 60s, man. I'm like, how much courage does an individual have to say that to the world?
Right.
And then I'm like, but if I say it, people are going to be like, oh, you're bragging. Like, I get on my plane and people are like, why are you showing your plane off? Because that's the plane I'm getting on. What should I do? Should I take pictures of me getting on Southwest when I know I'm flying out on a Gulfstream 650? It's mine. It's stupid what people say, right?
Right.
So, the social media for a real estate guy,
right?
Because you're doing both. You're doing something very real that you can either keep the asset or make some money on it, sell it. And then you're doing this internet thing, this like not real. It's this whatever this thing is.
Right.
To me, the combination of those two worlds is like a superpower.
I think it's like the ultimate cheat code in business.
Because all these other real estate syndicators that raise money, when the real estate takes a big dump, and it will in this cycle, the only place they get money.
Doing more deals. They need acquisition fees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they'll do bad deals to get their fee.
Whereas you and I can go do education.
I don't need any money. That's why anybody investing with me at Cardone Capital was always going to make more money than if they did it with an institution or a fundraiser or any of these people, because I don't need to steal from the fund.
Right.
If I need money to pay for anything, I'm like, hey, man, click the link right now. Okay, here's a free book. I mean, I know how to do that stuff.
Right.
And the real estate world will never, ever be able to catch up with that.
Right.
And most of them don't have the personalities or the good looks like you have,
Thank you. Thank you.
or the willingness to paint their hair.
There we go.
That's a gimmick I never used, bro. I got to tell you.
Well, when are you going to do it? How much is it going to take for you to go dye your hair, man?
Well, I did shave my head. Have
You did?
ever shaved your head?
Yeah. Back in the day when I was 21,
But have
I
you
had a
ever
shaved
shaved
head.
it for work?
Not since I got on social media.
Yeah, I shaved it. I shaved my head for Undercover Billionaire.
I might have to shave it just to switch it up on people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Social media, the internet has changed my life. I'm such a big proponent of it.
Yeah.
Like, that's my newest company, teaching entrepreneurs how to create content, create funnels, and get traffic to their business. Because I'm like, dude, if
What do you earn on funnels a day?
across all the businesses,
Just every day when it
Man.
bangs Stripe or
man, probably 50 to 100,000 a day.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
It's crazy,
yeah,
and it'll keep growing.
it's crazy. It's great, and we're not even like touching the surface of paid traffic.
Right.
Yeah. So once paid traffic gets scaled, I mean, who knows? But yeah, my main thing was like, dude, if you're an entrepreneur and you're not making content, you're not building your brand, somebody else in your niche is, and they're taking all your customers.
Yeah.
Like,
And I truly believe when I watch your stuff showing up in different places, I'm like, he's building so much trust. Like when you say you're pushing it down their throats, I think what really happens is because you're so frequent. I was telling you this earlier. Oh, I recognize that. I think that's the brand. People are not trusted until they're seen over and over. It's what Starbucks does well on street corners. Wells Fargo does it because they're everywhere. Banks create massive credibility because they use big lettering. They're everywhere. They're like, and you're building that brand, you know? And I didn't know I was building the brand. I didn't know I was doing this. I was just like, I hope this works. And everybody was telling me, you're posting too much. You're doing too much. You're bragging too much. You're doing this too much. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens.
And it just keeps working.
I said, they're not telling me to stop. I hadn't got a phone call yet.
Yeah.
Said, you can't do that.
Right. Do you have like okay, so let me break this down. I've been wondering myself, because I've had different, very like successful people, influential people who are ahead of me. They're like, dude, you're going to become a billionaire one day. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're going to be a billionaire. And being a billionaire has never been like a goal, right? I'm just kind of trying to get better every day. That's all I'm trying to do. And, I see you, obviously you're a billionaire now. You're continuing to get better every day. Like, was your goal to be a billionaire?
No.
What were you doing?
My wife, Elena was like, you need to be a billionaire. I was like, what is wrong with you? I just wanted to smash her in the face, man. Like, huh? You ever want to smash your wife in the face, man? Never? You just won't admit it.
We got Brian DeVille in the audience. He said he will not smash his wife.
No, but if you ever wanted to.
He's not going to answer.
Like, I'm busting my ass. I'm working, man. And all of a sudden, she's like, you need to be a billionaire. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, why would you even say that? She's like, because you could be. And she wasn't saying it because she wanted Gucci.
Right.
She was saying it because she's like, I know your potential. I know your work ethic. I know how disciplined you are.
Right.
I see you working $100 million or $160 million or $1 billion real estate transaction. And then 10 minutes later on Christmas Eve, you're pitching a $9 product. She's like, I know how much money you just made in this transaction. She watched me I did a deal. It was the Summerstone Apartments. I bought those property, got on a red eye, had a phone call on a Thursday.
Right.
On a red eye Thursday night, in the place on Friday, bought the deal. I think I put $400,000 down. 350 units, 360 units.
$400,000 was just the EMD or what?
I don't even know how I did it. Like, okay. I sold it, made $23 million. Okay. Elena watched the money come in.
This was just like a quick flip.
It was 34 months.
Okay. Got it.
But it was a lot of money for 34 months.
Oh yeah.
So had income the entire time. And she's like, look, you get a phone call. You don't know the person. You change your entire weekend. You flew to Charlotte, North Carolina on a red eye, commercial. I'm not flying. I wasn't flying private.
Right.
And you make $23 million in the deal. What do you do to celebrate? You go sell a $99 ticket. She's like, you deserve it, man.
Yeah.
And because the work ethic's there. Like just because I got rich doesn't mean I stop working.
Right.
And for me, the reason I do that, what drives me is the service, man, to help people.
I see it.
You know, and I know I don't help anybody when they don't pay me.
Right.
I only help people that pay me.
Right.
Like I've tried to help people that need help.
Yeah. They're not invested. They don't have skin in the game.
Like I've tried to help drug addicts get off of drugs before. I know they need to get off of drugs. They don't.
Right.
Because they don't want it bad enough yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I would definitely tell you, man, you should have $1 billion target, maybe a $10 billion target, and start mapping it out like you would any other target.
Right.
And there's a big difference between being a millionaire and a billionaire, man. You know.
Yeah.
It's 5,000. It's $1 million 5,000 times after taxes.
Well, I already know from you, to become a billionaire, you got to think, how do I get to 10 billion?
Yeah, that's right.
So how would I get there?
Well, you look at those funnels. I mean, look at those funnels. I mean, when I hear about the funnels at 50,000, I'm like, okay, you know, I know what we funnel out every day. I know it can be 10 times bigger for sure.
Yeah.
And if I can do 500 a day, I know I can do 5 million.
Right.
I know what Amazon's doing every second of the day.
What are they making?
Dude,
it's crazy.
I know how much money BlackRock raises. I know how much they lost in the second quarter of this year.
Right.
They lost $1.7 trillion of institutional money. And nobody says they're frauds.
Right.
There can't be a bigger fraud game than that.
Mm-hmm.
So I know the money's available. So what I would do is I'd just start saying, okay, I know the money's available. $10 billion on planet Earth is nothing. I think we sent that to Ukraine already.
Yeah.
All you had to do was get that.
Yeah. How do
you could have been the Ukraine siphon. You know, but you won't do that because you're not a bad guy. So you just got to figure out, okay, how do I help 10 million people?
Right.
10 million people give me $10. I think that's a lot of money right there.
100 mil right there.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it is.
I got to get them to give me.
But what if they did it every month?
Yeah.
Bang. That's
every
$1
month
billion
gets
to
to
a year.
billion. Yep.
Yeah. So, you know, it's just like you got to work it out. Then you got to get your spouse and the kids on the same page. Everybody rooting for Papa to become a billionaire.
Right. What's the meaning?
And then get rid of all the haters.
Right.
And the naysayers and the people that don't want you to get there. Because I promise you, no offense to you guys, I did this with Mike Tyson, never got invited back. There's somebody on your team that doesn't want you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I said this to Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
In the smoke shop with the hot box.
Yeah.
They never played the podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So there's always going to be somebody on your team, bro. Empires are torn apart from the inside, not the outside.
So what would be the significance of becoming a billionaire? Like what, I mean, look, for me, I enjoy just getting better and helping people, but on the money side.
Have you ever flown private?
Yeah.
Okay. Like whenever you want?
No.
Okay. There's one difference.
Okay.
So I'm probably going to buy, before the end of the year, I might buy another plane for the team.
Okay.
So they can move.
All right.
You know, that becomes different. My wife and I play a little game, the lottery game. Like if we had this much money, what would we do?
Right. So
you start thinking about things you would do, man. You ever rent a yacht for 2 or 3 weeks?
Nope.
Dude, it's sick, bro. I mean, it's sick.
It sounds like you enjoy the experiences of being a billionaire far more.
Yeah, but I mean, have you ever given, $20 million to charity?
No.
Yeah, it's freaking feels, that feels better than the plane. And I don't want to give away the plane, by the way. Hey, the law of attraction thing, I'm a little worried about it. So, or the yacht, but giving 20 million to charity is like that's, you inspire a lot of people when you do that.
Right.
So, I'm gonna fund these 10 TV shows. I couldn't do that if I was struggling.
Right.
I'm not gonna sell them to the networks.
Right.
They're not gonna tell me what to do. So if I could become a bank, and actually protect people's money, sending people $4 million every month that they depend on and need. I couldn't do that if I didn't have the capacity to go buy the real estate and then to backfill it.
Right.
Like the ability for me to go buy a piece of real estate, pick it out for my money, and then tell people, hey, I'm buying this either way. You want to come in? And they're like, oh yeah, you're going to buy it anyway? Yeah, either way, bro. Like it takes so much heat out of my life.
Right.
If I didn't have the surpluses, I couldn't do that.
I'll tell you, I really dislike syndicating, being under the gun.
Yeah, exactly.
All the time. I hate it.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the deal, right? And then, you got whatever to close and you're like, crap, we got to raise the money.
Yeah.
And
I walked away in February. We had 2 deals under contract in Houston, Texas, $1 million non-refundable on both of them. I was past the non-refundable period. It was their money by contract. And I walked away from both those deals.
Right.
I walked away from $2 million. We went back and got it anyway, but to be able to walk away, that FU money, I heard the guy on Axelrod. They said, what kind of Axelrod? What's the billions?
Okay.
On billions. And he talked about fuck you money. Fuck you money is, hey, I don't want to do business with you.
Right.
Or to be able to walk away. So that kind of freedom. It's not about the Billy.
Right.
You know, it's there though.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You have the talent, bro. You got the talent, the looks. I mean, you got the whole freaking package working. Why not?
Right.
There's
no
because
reason
what
not
if
to.
you don't? You know you're going to regret it if you don't go for it.
Mm. Yeah, you're making me think, man.
You know,
It's
it's
just-
out there, bro. It's out there.
Yeah,
and you're a better guy than most of these people that are doing it.
Right.
You know, you should go to New York and go just walk into the Goldman Sachs building. Just walk in at one time and look around.
And be like, these guys.
Bro, they got elevators. They got elevators that are this big. One elevator, and they got banks of them going up. 117 floors.
Mm.
They're not changing the world.
No.
They're not educating people. They're not going to stop and help people out. They're not going to like go online this weekend, and educate somebody, some kid you don't know from nowhere about how they could build a funnel and have financial freedom.
Right.
So look, if those guys can print billions of dollars and not even be like, they're not changing the world.
Nobody even knows them.
There's a machine.
Right.
So they pay a lot of fees, a lot of taxes, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure they do a lot of good things, but I also like the way that you're using social media and not letting it use you.
Mm.
That you're not just sitting there going through reels. How bad's the habit though?
Dude, honestly, I don't watch that much social media.
Yeah.
I'm just, dude, I never wanted
What do
to
you
be
watch?
social.
What do you watch there?
I'm like Sabrina. I read a lot of books.
Uh-huh.
I like reading.
Yeah.
I like reading, listening to podcasts, but I don't watch a ton of reels, man.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of lose the attention span.
Yeah, but that's what they want, though. I was telling my wife the other day, because one of her teammates said, "Hey, Grant, there's this trend going on where you do this and you go from this to that. You know that thing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. Well, why are you telling me that? And she's like, because it's getting a lot of views. I said, I don't need a lot of views. I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm not part of a trend. I don't work for Mark. I work for me. That's for them. You guys are just jumping on this freaking.
Speaking of Mark, and I know we got to head out of here soon. What do you think about Metaverse and crypto? We were talking about that upstairs. What are your thoughts on all that?
Well, I think we're a long way from the Metaverse. I think the Metaverse was a diversion for a bunch of bad news that Facebook had.
Right.
It worked, by the way. But I think we're a long way from anything Metaverse.
Right.
Hey, Siri, play Kanye West. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it worked. Half the time it doesn't work. I can't get my Google map to work.
Right.
It's bringing me some other place. I'm like, well, I can't get pins to share. I just think we're a ways away. Will there be an internet 3.0? 1,000%. Is crypto real? I think so.
Yeah.
If somebody could show me how to do, $250 million worth of real estate deals and turn it into an NFT, I'll be the first guy to, I'll fund the project.
Yeah.
And you guys figured out how to put the oogie joogie around it.
Yeah.
Turn everything to 8 boards.
I'm holding you to it.
Grant faces, half my face and half your face or something.
I'm down with it.
You know?
I told you, at Tykes, that's what our goal is.
Yeah.
And so we're going to create the innovation and
then
I'm going to bring it to you
we
to
got to
fund
be able
it.
to do it. We got to be able to do it without the SEC throwing us in jail.
I know. That's the main
problem.
priority.
It's the SEC, man.
Right.
I
Yeah.
trust the NFT. I trust the technology.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to over deliver.
Yeah.
I'll put enough stuff around it
Right.
that there's value, but I worry about whether the SEC and the FED and the IRS and all the
FTC,
acronyms
yeah.
want this.
Right.
And if they don't want it, they'll hunt us.
No, we're going to do it legit. We got lawyers working on
Yeah,
it.
good.
I'm gonna
good.
send
Then
you
let's go. Let's be the
Yeah.
first ones that pull it off in a big way.
I'm going to do it. So I'm going to send you the honorary Tyke. So,
Okay.
because you're part of
Okay.
the crypto real estate revolution now.
Let's go, man.
And we're gonna do it, man.
Okay.
We'll be the first ones. We'll get the
Let's go.
funding, the
I'd
publicity.
love to do that, man. That would be part of my legacy, that I was involved in something really, really big, you know? And that
Okay.
I wasn't some closed-minded guy.
All right, I'm telling Jared that
Done.
it's done.
Done.
Well, dude, I appreciate you coming to Vegas, man. I had a
appreciate you.
blast, man. As always, you've inspired me. I'm gonna go out and get the Billy.
So look, put in the chat below, man, should he kill a Billy or more? Okay.
10. I got to go for 10 though.
So from now on, refer to him as a Billy Hunter. He's a Billy Hunter from now on, and then once he gets it, then he's a Billy killer.
Well, guys, go follow Grant as always. Look up Cardone Capital, doing amazing things. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace. What's up, wealth builders? Ryan Pineda here. Today, we've got another masterclass, and in this one, I'm going to be going over how to make $250,000 a year, why that's important, and how you need to budget that money once you are making it, so that not only are you living a great life, but you're building towards your future and investing the money the right way. So if you're not currently making $250,000 yet, this video is for you.